When you're setting up your site for the first time, one of the first things you'll want to do is to rebrand it. So it uses your site name, your email address, and basic information that's relevant to you and your context. So to do that, of course, you'll be signed in as an administrator. You go to the back end of the WordPress site, and there are a few locations where we have to change this. So if you're using e-commerce, we have to change it there. We also have to change it in WordPress itself, and we also want to look at the email send settings. So the first place I want to look at some of this, and this is only looking at the text side of rebranding, so the site name and the email address. We'll start there. We'll talk about things like logo later on. So let's go into settings, and general. And in here, this is where we can see information about the current site title, the tagline, which is not used anywhere, but it's good to update that as well. And the other information here, these two fields should not be changed. This one should be changed to whatever you're using as admin notification. So wherever you want notifications in terms of site changes to be sent. So that should be set to whatever is appropriate there. Then, of course, we do want this changed, this changed, this changed, and you can change the time zone as well. The rest of the things here you probably at least don't need to change, but you can review them certainly. But anyway, the key things here that we want to change are this, this, and this. Now, after we've done that, let's look at emails that are sent. So this is who receives emails, so notifications from the system, but we also need to consider who sends the emails. So what's the email address that emails should come from, that like their notifications about the site or the system sending them to users themselves. So you need to make sure it's something that users can potentially reply to if they have questions. So what I do want to do is I want to go up to design here, and I want to change emails. So I click on emails, and instead I'm going to change this one to learn with Ryan. And that will be the name that I want it sent as, and I want it coming from my email address. So I will use that. And then, of course, you will want to change this. This is probably one of the hardest things you'll have to do on the site. If you're changing this logo, so like of course an easy option is just to delete it, but if you want to replace it, probably the best thing you can do, and I know this is unfortunately rather complicated, is to actually go into the HTML editor, and really we try to make it so that you don't need to change things in HTML on the site. This is unfortunately one exception. The easiest way to change this is unfortunately after you have uploaded a logo, and you can see it's very tricky to get the selection right. So after you have uploaded a logo, you have a URL for it, wherever your logo is hosted, then you would need to change it right here. So it keeps navigating away on me, but this string here is you would paste in the URL for the logo. So in this case, you can see it's an Uncanny LP logo. That should be changed to whatever you want it to be changed to. Then you can close that, and then it would show here. And I know that's awkward and cumbersome. Unfortunately, that is the only way to do it, or the best way to do it. And you only have to change it once. And then once that's done here, you don't have to worry about it again. So once you've done that, so you've changed the sender name, the sender email address, and the logo here, you can go ahead and save changes. And once you've done that, then you can send a test to yourself to make sure that works. And the last place we're going to change email addresses is if you have e-commerce turned on, then there is a settings page in here where you can rebrand the emails. So if I go over to here under emails, these are the emails that are available. I know there are a lot. It's difficult to change these because they're templates if you want to change any content. So this really probably should be used more for turning things on and off. But anyway, once again down here, who are we sending it from? So let's make it learn with Ryan again. From email address is going to be Ryan again. And then this is the same URL that we just used for email branding, and we're setting it here. And WooCommerce email branding is a little bit different, so you can switch colors around here. Once you're done that, you can save your changes. And after saving your changes, then you can click on this, which I'll open in a new tab, and it shows you exactly what the email will look like in terms of the template and the branding. So that's how that works. So change those 3 things or 2 things if you're not using e-commerce, and that will address what you need to in terms of the site naming, who emails are sent from, and who receive notifications.